Today, we are here with my literal day one. He is a designated fashion buyer and also the creative director of my life. I consider him my best friend. I don't know if he considers me his best friend.
It's a bit of a stretch,
But we are here with my younger brother, Tashriq.
Hi, everyone. Hi, internet.
Oh my gosh.
I'm making my internet debut.
Literally. Well, he's been on the internet.
Yeah.
That sounds weird.
Yeah. I mean, certain parts of the internet. The good parts.
If you know, you know.
The good parts, not the bad parts, but
yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah,
I think,
I'm not being paid for this, so I'm being held against my will.
As an eldest sister, like, I've done a lot for you.
Yeah.
I do a lot for you. It's a thankless job being an older sister, I tell you. Mm-hmm. To all the older sisters out there, you know what I mean. You basically raise your little siblings and, like, they still don't appreciate you.
Comment down below, older sisters, if you agree with this. Especially,
like, you know, when they say, like, having a younger brother is like being interested in a man who is not interested in you. It's so real. Like,
I'm really trying,
You're really trying, but you just cannot be bothered.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like, it's the dynamic. But speaking of being day ones, oh my gosh, where do we even begin? I would love to, first of all, you're here in your fur. And I said you're the creative director of my life.
Just a casual work outfit.
Yeah, very casual. Like, he goes shopping in this. You'll catch him at Woolworths in this.
Grocery shopping in this. Yeah.
So, I feel like we've been through so much together, naturally. I've known you since, like, you were born. I remember literally, this is gonna be like such a weird family story, but like, I literally remember, like, I was at Nani's house and, like, mommy came home one day after work. Like, I was living my best life as an only child. And then she's like, oh my gosh, we're having a baby. And I was like, what does this even mean for my life? Anyway, I was 3, so I didn't know. And then, like, all of a sudden, we're, like, at the hospital one day, and then there's, like, a child being you.
And her life changed forever for the best, because literally, I'm the best. And
I had imaginary
I'm sure
friends.
You believe that too.
I had imaginary friends before you arrived. So that's why you became my friend.
Yeah, you manifested me.
I manifested a friend and I got one. But truly...
Be careful what you wish for.
Literally. But that was like a little backstory. But anyway, you did really... I wouldn't be the person that I am today, like, if it weren't for you. Like, genuinely, like, I think you're such a big, like, honestly, like a soulmate in my life. And...
This feels like a birthday speech.
Well, your birthday did just happen. He's a Cancer and I'm a Taurus. We're very compatible. If you know, you know.
Comment down below if you're a Cancer.
Earth signs and water signs.
The comments are going to be full.
We love you guys as Cancers for your sensitivity. I just want to say. But yeah, so, like, I want to go back to, like, one of the first things, like, there's so many things obviously that we've been through together as siblings, but, like, you were a creative since you were born, like, genuinely. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, I wouldn't be me if I didn't know you, because you inspired so much of my creativity. And you know, like, literally growing up, you're now working in fashion, and I mean, you were sketching dresses and, like, you know, drawing, like, fairies and, like, designing amazing outfits on them, and then literally, like, actually sewing garments for my Barbies that I didn't play with, and now, like, you're doing that for a living. Like, you're working in fashion. Like, please tell us how, was this always your vision? Was this always your dream?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say it's always been the main vision. Like, I went through the most with my career paths. Like, growing up, I mean, the first thing I remember I ever wanted to be was, like, that was the second thing.
Oh, sorry, I missed the first one.
The first thing was, like, an archaeologist. But, like, I never really voiced that opinion to anyone, you know? It was kind of just, like...
Digging up that dirt. Never mind.
No, we're digging out the dirt. That's what I do in my free time. But now, it was mainly just, like, it comes from, like, my fascination with, like, the ancient world and
like Egypt.
Egypt.
We need to go to Egypt.
I need a party in the desert, at the pyramids.
Yeah.
But yeah, it mainly came from that. But then I kind of just grew out of that, and that kind of just became a hobby. And then afterwards, that stemmed into me going into like baking. And then I was baking almost every week. And then, I really wanted to become a pastry chef. And then that was my dream throughout, primary school.
Yeah.
And I mean, that still is like in the creative field. So I feel like it's always been like a creative thing. And I mean, like having creative parents, it was never really frowned upon, which I mean, I guess we could say we were lucky in that regard.
Yes.
But like, honestly, like, I wouldn't say it's lucky. I feel like that is like the bare minimum. Like your parents should support you no matter what.
Real.
But yeah, we were considered like lucky compared to other people. Then from baking, it kind of went to like, oh, I want to be a pastry chef, and then I want to, go to chef school and do all these things. But then kind of through high school, it went to, oh, I want to do graphic design, because then I got involved in like visual arts, and, that was like my passion, like drawing and all of that. And that's actually what I ended up, going to university for. But then something like, I don't know what it was or what this force was, but literally like 2 weeks before I started, something just told me, graphic design isn't what you're meant to do, switch to fashion.
Yeah.
And,
powerful.
For me, this was just something that was like, oh, this is a hobby of yours, like you like dressing up and like going places. It's not really like, oh, you're dressing up now, turn this into a career. But, I never regretted it.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a lot of back pain from fashion students out there, you know what I'm talking about, sitting at your sewing machine, just working away. But yeah, I was really grateful for what I went into, and now working in fashion, it's like I'm walking into a Devil Wears Prada scene every day, so yeah, I feel like it also comes from the self and just knowing that you can do whatever you want. And one of the things that like I think about on a daily basis is like the fact that we were given free will,
Real.
And you can honestly do whatever, whenever. Obviously, like use it, like
with great power comes great responsibility.
Like don't do anything bad,
as Spider-Man said.
Yeah, just keep it true to yourself and just do what you want to do, because at the end of the day, you came in the world alone, you're gonna leave alone. Do you really want to like live a life for other people that really don't mean anything? I mean, this might seem harsh, but honestly, you gotta keep it real. You gotta be not hard on yourself. I shouldn't say that, but like just be true to what you want to do, because I love what you said about having the audacity in life, because I talk about this a lot, because sometimes we don't realize that the only thing limiting ourselves is us. And it's such a gift to be able to unlock at an early age what your passion is and make it a reality, like make the dream the career, the sustainable path that you go on, and that it really like it continues to unlock the best in you. And I went through a similar thing, obviously, with going to initially study at WITS to study a Bachelor of Science degree in biology. I was very academic, and like when you said like something just gave you that instinct to change your choice when it came to subjects. And I mean, in high school, I was very much like very academic. I was studying all the time, and I was very much like, I need to get into medicine or something like this. Now, no one told me to do that. I was kind of putting these expectations on myself. And then I remember I picked, like in grade 9, you can pick subjects that you want to do in high school. And I picked drama as one of them because my soul knew that I wanted to be an actor. And then going into my class, a lot of my friends passed judgment on that, and they were like, oh, drama is what stupid people do. And that rings in my head every day, because I'm like, you have to be so intuitive and self-aware to do drama and to be an artist.
And I gave into the peer pressure at that point, and I chose geography, and I did like this like triple science type of vibe. I got 7 A's in high school, and then I went on to study a Bachelor of Science degree at WITS, and I was really good at it. It was something that I enjoyed, but something in me was like, this is not for you. Like, you're on the wrong path. And after doing a semester of it, I just couldn't. Like, I was dreaming about being an actor. Like, it was my lifelong dream. Like, I would be watching the Oscars being like, I need to be in this space. Like, I would be telling myself stories, or like living in my imagination while I'm meant to be studying for biology. And I was like, I need to be true to myself. And that meant making a big decision. And I'm grateful. Like, I love that you said, like, also we have creative parents, which like, it is a gift. It also should be the bare minimum that a lot of people are able to be open about having those dreams with their parents. But I do think it was a game changer because it really showed us as well the lesson that the only thing standing in our way was ourselves. Because they were like, I mean, our mom is a model. She was a model for years. She had a model agency where she taught other young girls and males probably, but where she taught modeling. And our dad was in fashion, and now I'm an actor, and Tashriq is in fashion. Full circle.
And a model.
Like, we both dabble in modeling. Yeah. But I mean, they grew up in the space that was very like alternative in their time. And so they always like, we grew up knowing what they did, and we felt like we were very immersed in the creative space, and they never like tried to convince us to do one thing or the other. They were like, go on your own path.
Do what you gotta do.
You do what you gotta do. And like, I'm grateful for that. And it also like, what it helps me with, like, as we were stepping into our creative paths, we did obviously like, you encounter, I guess, judgment from like the community or like people around you sometimes. Like I said, like my friends were like, oh, you're an academic, you can't do drama. Like, people think like there's these categories that you have to fit into. But something that helped me was like, who has walked this path with me the longest? You. And well, I'm saying me and you.
I'm saying
you as a person,
in yourself,
as an individual. Yes, like you're there for yourself. But I think also like your closest circle, like I'm saying you as in my sibling, and then parents. I mean, like even when parents don't always get it right, they're still there for every step of the way, and that really helps me to never like actually care about what other people think. I'm like, no one else knows the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. So I'm like, if my parents are not judging this, I'm not judging this, and I don't care what the next person thinks, because this is my journey.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, for me, the judgment from external parties, I don't particularly remember. I mean, it might be that there was never that judgment of me going into a creative field, because I feel like people knew that, like, for example, being a chef, like, you could make a living off of that. Or like going into graphic design, you could make a living off of that. I think it was either that I didn't have the judgment, or that I was just subconsciously blocking it out because myself knew what I needed to do. So I don't know. It could be either or. But I feel like even when I switched to fashion, then there was some sort of like, oh, okay. But I feel like by then I was like, 17, 18, people already knew who I was and what I was about, so no one really questioned it. So yeah, I feel
what has been in the fashion, like being in the fashion space? So like literally you are, how old are you now?
23.
23 and killing it in the game.
I feel old.
You're doing really great. Like honestly, like you inspire me a lot, because like even though we were both sure of who we wanted to be as creatives, you came to the realization sooner than me. I had to go down plan B to realize like my plan A was where I wanted to be.
But I think you going to your plan B at the time where I needed to find my plan A did help, because it was like you switched to the creative field before I was getting into it, so it was like, okay, she did it, so I can do it too.
Slay, let me move to Cape Town.
Love a trailblazer in the industry.
Well, guys, he does appreciate me. Oh my gosh.
Okay, moving on.
But that was a really cool moment. So how old were you when you moved to Cape Town? So I was already here, and then you moved.
How old was I? I was 21. 21 turning 22.
Right. You were really young.
Yeah, I was 21 turning 22 in that year. Yeah.
You were really young, stepping into the corporate space.
Oh no, I had actually just turned 21, sorry.
Oh yeah.
21 that year, yeah.
Yeah. And when I moved to Joburg, to go to Wits, I was 17. That was wild actually. But I mean, we made these moves away from home quite early.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful thing to find yourself with living alone. But tell me more about the fashion journey and what has really stuck out? How has it shown you your true gift? And what has been the biggest learning of I mean, you can talk about it now as well, of going from purely a creative and maybe doing more freelance content creation, stepping into a more corporate structured setting, because that's what we both did. And I feel there's pros and cons to both, but how is your artist still fueled in a corporate space?
I feel that's definitely something that I didn't realize, that my inner artist is still being fueled in the corporate world, because going from just doing fashion for fun to fashion, posting outfits on Instagram, to then getting paid to post in outfits on Instagram by these brands, and then making an income off of that, and seeing that it's not just something that you see on the big screens, it's something that you can actually do. And then living in the age of social media content creation, and that becoming a real thing that people were recognizing as an actual job, I think that really helped. And working with all these brands, doing clothing, fragrances, that sort of thing, it really helped, and helped with an income while I was in university, and then going from that to realizing as great as content creation is, and it's offering me an income and flexibility, it just wasn't consistent enough for me to maintain a lifestyle that I was happy with full time. So then I realized, hey, I have a degree in this, let me try and get a job. And I always knew that I wanted to travel and see the world and do all of these things. And I was what's something that I could do to fulfill my desires to travel, but also fulfill my creative need to be in the world of fashion? And that's when I applied to be a buyer. And now that I'm in it and I'm living it, and I'm able to travel and able to do all these cool things, it's really great, because although I am in a corporate world and it's giving me the constant income and stability that I need, it's also allowing me to express myself through fashion, and I'm able to wear a fur coat to work, and express
your friends
myself
are wearing
fully.
their fur coats at work.
My friends are wearing a Jordan, a sneaker to work, and this is a corporate job, so it's you're able to express yourself creatively, but still be in a space that gives you stability,
I love that. Very similar to me, where I'm an actor, but I'm also a creator manager. I manage content creators and create basically these programs that enable them to upskill and do better and really contribute to the creative economy. And it really put me in a position where I was able to merge the two as well. I mean, it happened, I got this job when I moved to Cape Town. I moved here, I've said the story before, with no real plan. And, acting is obviously amazing, and it's the dream and it's a passion, but the creative world, unfortunately, in South Africa, is not in a space where it can be consistent and where artists can earn a living from it. And so I got put into this incredible role then of joining an agency and being able to help other creatives out there to actually turn their passions into monetizable careers, and looking at sustainable growth in that space. And in doing that, it fuels me still being in the creative space, bringing everything that I know as a content creator, as an actor, and also from a logistical academic point of view, strategizing these projects. But it also has a bigger impact. I think that's such a big thing, the impact that the work has. And I want to tie that into we talk a lot about we talk a lot about our inner child.
Yeah.
And like figuring that out, like that's been a big journey of both of us, like going on like spiritually.
And a very big main focus recently, like in the last year or so.
Especially that. So I want to talk more about that, and particularly like how it's unlocked you kind of understanding your purpose in this life. If it sounds dramatic, but literally like what did understanding your inner child and maybe like whatever trauma was there and then healing from that unlock in you?
I feel like I'm still figuring out my inner child. I'm hoping to heal soon, you know. It's gonna be a long journey. It's been a long journey. But I mean, you know, when we get there, we get there. But currently, like, I feel like something I've definitely realized is that, you know, as I mentioned earlier, you hold the power and you have the power to do what you want to do when you want to do it. I feel like something that like my inner child lacked when I was a child was just the confidence, you know, and confidence was never something that I had. It's something that I really had to build up. And, you know, being bullied in school is never a nice thing, you know, even if it's not physical, the mental bullying and like, you know, that sort of thing, people talking about you and saying things and like making small comments, you know, it really takes a toll on you. And, you know, when you grow up, like a lot of like my adult life, or let me say adult life so far, has been me trying to unpack and heal those wounds that people left, you know. But yeah, I've been trying to take that and channel the energy that like I wasn't able to exude when I was younger and use it now. And I feel like that has really benefited me now, because especially being in the corporate world, you need to have a big voice to be heard, you know, and you need to put your best foot forward and represent yourself in the best light to showcase your abilities and be able to, you know, really push yourself and show others that you are capable of doing these things to move up the corporate ladder. So yeah, I feel like working on your inner child is such an important thing, because at the end of the day, it's like only benefiting you, and it's only gonna not only heal your inner self, but help who you are now and only push you further.
Yeah. I love that you said that, especially because you were saying like you basically alchemize pain that your inner child goes through to become your gift. And that's such an important thing. Like, for me, the way I've experienced that is I realized through a lot of my interactions, I spoke to you about this as well, that my main trauma that my inner child was experiencing was and is a fear of abandonment and a fear of rejection. And you're right, like it's almost like that plays out in so many ways in life, because sometimes even when you're not being rejected or abandoned, it can feel like that, especially when you're young and you're trying to figure it out, you know, like you're the last, like you literally feel like you're the last person to be chosen to like do something, or you know, like you just, I don't know, it was a feeling of like a lot of times in my friendships as well, like I felt like I was giving a lot and I was like, would people do the same for me? Do people even want me here? And like a lot of it is noise that you have to like heal within yourself, but it's even scarier when it manifests into people actually not showing up for you and like not being there. But I think that's part of the journey, because then it sheds light on like this thing that you're carrying within you. And this year I had to like really reflect on it and sit with it, and I'm like, oh damn, like I have a fear of being rejected and abandoned. But then I had to be like, why? You know, I haven't, you know, like even if I look at, you know, like a lot of different things that have happened in my life, like even a tumultuous relationship with like our dad, for example, even amidst that, like he never abandoned me. You know, like he was there, and like we were like he was there, and like he was still trying to like do better. And then I was like, you know, like in actual fact, like no one important to me has actually abandoned me. Like this is probably like a lie that I've been telling myself, or like a trauma that we've carried from, I don't know, past lives that I need to work through. But what I realized was the message of like what I need to alchemize through that was community, because I'm like, my inner child is there waiting to be chosen. And how do it was literally like, I read this thing, and it was like, how do you transform the pain that your inner child is feeling to a bigger message that you can contribute to society? And the solution to a fear of abandonment and rejection was to create community, the community that I never had, like how you're saying, like have the voice that you never had as your younger self. So now community is so important to me, and I'm doing it through having these conversations. Like the spark for me, you know, starting this podcast was realizing that like everyone wants to say these things and wants a space where they can talk about these things, and everyone is a little lonely and everyone wants connection, especially in the world that we live in today, and I get so fueled by being around people. But I wanted to know like more about like in doing that, like how are you able to what was the journey of like actually healing from like bullying, if you can talk about that? And like, and it's so interesting, you know, like it's like, especially when you're creative, it's almost like people find you weird until we all grow up, and it's like, oh damn, you're so cool for doing that thing.
I hate that people are like, oh, you're so cool, oh, you're doing all these things. I'm like, when I was doing it back then, you people had a lot to say, but now it's oh, I go to your page, it says follow back. Oh, I don't know about that. Not the follow back. Well, guess what? You're not getting a follow back. So, yeah, it's like
Ariana Grande's popular song.
Yeah.
Because popular. It's like, oh, like, I wish that I could be like the cool kid. It's like all the misfits. We were doing cool things that were very alternative, and no one got it because we didn't fit into this perfect little box that they wanted us to fit into. And now when we're doing it, everyone finds it cool, because the thing that stands out, I think, is just like, it's so authentically us. Like we are able to do what most people are not able to do, which is show up 100% as ourselves.
Yeah, I just want to touch on something you said. I don't know if this was the intention behind the creation of the title of this podcast, but to me, when you just said what you said, someone call someone isn't only for when you need to call someone, but it's also maybe the someone you needed to call was yourself. And it reminds me of this podcast that, well, actually not podcast, it was a spoken word that my tattoo artist actually spoke to me about when I was getting them done. And she was like, she was listening to this thing, and I think you guys should listen to it too. And the title of it was, maybe the person you've been looking for all this time was yourself. And it's so true, because, you know, I've also personally been surrounded by many people who just look and look and look for this external force to fix them, be it through friendships or be it through relationships. And a lot of the times, like, these things never end up working out, because the void they're trying to fill is within themselves and can't be filled through an external party, you know? So I think there's a lot of soul work that people need to do on themselves, by themselves. But I do understand that it is scary. Like, being alone is very scary for a lot of people. But honestly, it's something that we should all go through. And I feel like I've especially learned that living alone. As you said earlier, like, being alone with your thoughts, although it can be scary, is the most freeing thing and healing thing you can do for yourself, especially when you're trying to heal your inner child, per se.
It's solitude.
Yeah.
And that's something, I love that you mentioned that, because that's literally something I wanted to touch on now. Like, we're so different, actually. Like, I've learned so much from you about spending time with myself, because you're really good at doing that, and you always have been.
I love being alone, but it's the introvert in me.
Yeah, like sometimes even I have a time limit when I go to visit him. Like, well, he put the time limit on me. He's like, you can leave now.
Yeah.
But I really admire that, because as someone who's more extroverted and who gets, like, I get so much energy from being around people. My social battery almost never dies. Like, it's re-energized by me being around people. I found it really challenging to sit with myself and to have that solitude. It's like a sacred time. Like, I think I had to, like, I even chatted to you about how do you transform something that seems like loneliness into solitude, so that you're not feeling a void. Like, what you're describing is like, it's not out there, it's here. Like, feel your feelings has been a big lesson from sitting with myself, because it's like, don't block it by like, when you're with yourself, don't be scrolling too much. Don't be overworking to avoid whatever trauma you're pushing under the carpet. So sitting with that and then like going through it, which can feel like a lot, but it's so necessary to come out the other side, because you come out just like with a knowing. It's like, it's almost like you live through a testimony and you come out the other side and you're like, oh my gosh, like I learned something about myself. And I don't know, like I think it's still something I'm struggling with a bit, but like, what do you prefer about it compared to being around people? Is it like an energetic thing where, because sometimes I feel so like fueled by being around people, but yeah, what about?
I think it's also a thing of the quality of energy you're around and the quality of people you're around. Because a lot of the times when I find myself in large groups of people, it's very mixed, you know? Like, everyone has a different vibe, everyone has something else going on. And I feel like me being an empath per se, I can sense what people are going through, and also like sometimes people are going through a lot and you don't want to feel that, you know? So for me, I like being at home alone, because that's my space, it's my Zen garden, and it's just my energy, you know, and I know what my energy is. I know who I am, and it's kind of like, okay, this is my safe space. It does get a bit draining sometimes being around a lot of people and having to like speak constantly, you know, and needing to say something. But like when I'm with myself or with very selected people, we can kind of like just sit in silence and not have to say anything, because we have this understanding that like, you know, we get each other. So I feel like that's just my main reason for wanting to be alone. Like, it's just freeing, you know, just to not have to do anything and kind of just exist.
I love that. I'm definitely still learning those lessons, because I feel like if I spend too much time on my own, I feel drained from that, if that makes sense. And I find even if I interact with at least one person in the day and like say hi, I'm energized. And I think that does speak to, obviously, like, like I feel like it's like an 80-20, like you're 80% needing the alone time, and then 20% you can be out, and like mine is the opposite. Like, if I do 20% of solitude and like meditation, journaling, reflecting, I feel really energized to take my energy out. And I also feel people's energies very strongly when I'm around them, so I think it is important to be around the right people. If someone is draining, you just immediately feel that and you take a step back. But when I'm around the right energies, which I feel like I've been cultivating so much from, again, oh my gosh, light bulb moment. You cultivate the right energies in your life from knowing your energy, from calling yourself. Because when you know who you are, you naturally attract like people of the right frequencies into your life. And you also don't have to pretend, because you know who you are when you walk into a room. And I think that's the game changer. It's like, know yourself, self-awareness is key, and then attract your tribe, as they say, and then you can have that great balance of like being around people but never feeling drained, and also knowing when it's time to go back to your Zen garden. I
definitely feel like having the right people and knowing their energies are aligned with yours is a big thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's my main reason for not having a lot of people around me, is because I'm still trying to find those people that like are, I don't want to say on my level, but like, you know, match my vibe and match my tribe sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like once you do that work on yourself and you're able to know who you are and attract those people, then you'll have no problem, like, you know, seeing people or not seeing people. But I mean, if you're still on that journey, that's okay too.
Right.
Because that's where I am, you know. And maybe one day I'll be in my 365 party girl era.
Oh my gosh, Brad.
You know, shout out Charlie. But for right now, I'll be in my room. Thank you very much.
And I'll be in my 365 era.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we have to get like super sentimental for our last question of this podcast.
This whole podcast was sentimental.
Okay, true. We'll get the fun stuff after the sentimental. But like, okay, what is? I guess it would be cool to to say like one thing we would shout out in each other. Like one thing that like inspires us.
Yeah.
I mean, we've said a lot of it already. But like maybe like one word or like one trait.
Okay.
I have to think about it.
I would say hardworking. She puts in the work, she gets up, she goes, she gets the results. And I would definitely say that that's like a trait that, you know, I look up to in her. Hardworking.
I would say unapologetic. That's the first thing. I didn't even have to think about it. You're very sure, as I said, like you're younger than me, but you're very sure of what you will do, what you won't do, and like where your boundaries are. And it's not in a limiting way at all. You're not preventing yourself from having new experiences, but you know what your values are, you know what your code is, and you're not gonna like forego that for anyone or anything, even new people in your life, even something that seems exciting. You're like, hey, that's cool, but like that's not my vibe.
Not for me. Yeah, that definitely comes from like knowing yourself and knowing what you want and knowing what you don't want. And it also comes from, you know, not needing to rely on anyone, because the moment you rely on someone, that's when you're like, okay, like now am I needing to do this because like if I don't, then this person is going to leave my life and then I won't be able to do X, Y, and Z.
And not needing any validation from the next person.
Like I think for me, I know that like I make my own money and I can do what I want when I want because of it, you know? So I don't need to rely on anyone for anything. And if I say no to this, then if that person hates me, they hate me, you know, goodbye. But, you know, if there's people in your life that like start treating you a certain way because you don't want to do something or like you're not doing it on their terms, then I think you need to run, because that ain't a situation you want to be in.
That's not.
No.
But Slay, thanks for calling me hardworking. That's so me. I'm such a hardworking girl. And my reason is also because I want to be able to have everything that I need and do everything that I want for myself. Because my mother's a hardworking girl and I come from a long line of hardworking girls. So you best believe if I need something, I'm going to get it myself. And it's a big motivator because like the more you put yourself through, the more you grow and the more you believe that you can do the next big thing on your own.
You just keep going and going, and before you know it, you're in the space that you're like, whoa, how did I get here?
That you 5 years ago would be like, oh my gosh, we made it. Looks like we made it. Anyway. I also like karaoke and he doesn't.
Anyways.
Okay, so who are you gonna call Disney character edition, right? So we're both gonna say who we would call. Okay, I'll give the phone to you. So if you need a cute outfit and it's a Disney character, who are you calling? Okay, I would call the fairy godmother, obviously. Cinderella.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I would call the one what from Enchanted. What's her name? Because she made something from curtains.
Oh yeah,
she was a good one.
Amy Adams.
No, I'd call the genie.
Oh yeah, okay.
The genie.
So you would call the genie because he can do everything. Yeah.
He can make my wishes come true. He can give me unlimited wardrobe. I wish for an unlimited wardrobe.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, who would we call if we wanted to go on a date night with a Disney character? I would call Flynn Rider.
The genie.
What?
Because he can make up
any person for you.
Second wish. I wish for I don't know.
Okay, so the genie is giving you the hot date and the hot outfit.
Yes.
You still have one more from the genie.
Okay.
Okay, if you have tea to spill, who are you calling?
The magic mirror.
Oh yeah, very sassy.
The magic mirror.
That's a good one.
I don't know if he's going to keep it to himself, but he's sassy.
Okay, who would you call if you were stuck on the side of the road? I would call Cause Lightning McQueen. Lightning McQueen.
Definitely Lightning McQueen.
You wouldn't call Mater?
Who would call Mater? No one's calling that guy.
You're bullying Mater. Okay.
I'm not. I relate to Mater because we both, growing up, I was bullied for having a gap. And Mater had a gap. And I was like, Mater, we are one. Anyways.
Okay. I relate with Dory because we're ridiculous. We're both ridiculous. Actually, okay, who would you call if you needed a good laugh? I would call Shrek because he's not actually funny. Oh no, I would call Donkey. I would so call Donkey.
I don't know. None of them were really funny.
Donkey's funny.
I'm trying to think.
I'm all alone. There's no one here.
Yeah, maybe.
No one?
Anyways, pause.
So you don't want to laugh. You should just call me then.
Definitely not. I'm hanging up for that one.
Okay, moving on from that. Who would you call if you needed to get revenge on someone? Cruella de Vil.
No, the evil stepmother.
Oh yeah,
the evil queen.
She a baddie.
Yeah, she'll give me an apple or two.
Any evil queen. Okay, who would you call if you needed a road trip buddy?
Oh, no, I need silence. Or someone who's not annoyingly singing.
I would call Aladdin and get the magic carpet.
Oh, the magic carpet.
A whole new world.
Yeah. I mean, and he's nice to look at. So maybe Aladdin.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Aladdin. Someone call Aladdin, actually. But yes. Okay, now we're just putting Tashriq in the hot seat real quick to ask him like some really scandalous questions. They're not that scandalous. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Take the phone. Okay. Have you ever ghosted anyone who didn't deserve to be ghosted?
No, everyone I've ghosted has deserved to be ghosted. Thank you very much.
Damn. Okay. What is your biggest red flag?
Oh. Someone who smells bad.
What? No.
Am I not understanding the question? Oh my. Oh my, in myself.
Yeah, that's an ick. Not
but an ick is a red flag. If I find you icky, then you're a red flag.
What is your red flag? Like, what do people say is your red flag?
I don't have any red flags. I'm great.
That's a red flag. That's his red flag. That he thinks he has no red flags.
Yeah. But not in a narcissistic way. In a cutesy self-love way.
That brings us to the end of...
Oh no. Is that all the time we have?
Oh no. Now I actually have to come sit on your couch at home and talk to you.
Oh no.
Well, thank you.
We're all out of minutes, folks.
Keep calling. Someone call someone. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for more Someone Call Someone content. And yeah, if you have a whole bunch of feelings and you don't know where to take them,
call someone.
Call someone.
Oh. Or call us. Yeah. Maybe her, not me. I'm not going to
Don't call him.
My
He's
phone's
not
on
gonna
silent,
answer.
sorry.
Airplane mode.